they were the, first like influencer fearmongers in paper form.
Welcome back to Making It Awkward. I'm Jessica Wilson, clinical dietitian and author of It's Always Been Ours. You can find me on Instagram at jessicawilson.msrd, and you can head over to YouTube to watch the show. To sustain these conversations, you can join the Patreon for as little as $3 a month, and my dad will welcome you to the Patreon community. You can email the pod at makingitawkwardpod@gmail.com. You can also rate the podcast, review it, which my dad will read. You can send an episode to a friend, share a social media post about the episode, all of which will help folks find the show. We really appreciate it. Today, dietitian Sherene Chou returned to the show, this time to talk about the Center for Science and Public Interest, or CSPI. The outcome of our conversation surprised me. I had my thoughts on CSPI going in, and by the end, I was in a pretty different place. Sherene makes the incredibly wise connection that CSPI was the original nutrition influencer, with its use of extreme and alarmist language, similar to the content we see today from people like the food babe, Vani Hari. CSPI calls themselves a watchdog. Others have called them the food police. The DC-based organization was formed in 1971, initially having a broad science focus, but quickly shifting into more of a nutrition-oriented organization. The CSPI website says that in the 1990s, they led the fight for the passage of the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act, which made now iconic nutrition facts labels mandatory on packaged foods. And in a series of famous studies published in its Nutrition Action Health Letter, the group exposed for the first time the caloric content of movie theater popcorn, fettuccine Alfredo, and restaurant items like Outback Steakhouse's Bloomin' Onion, which are interesting wins to feature so prominently. And Sherene and I will get into more wins in the interview. CSPI now spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on campaigns and to lobby Congress. Its current list of campaigns are pathogens and food safety, predatory food marketing, the final MAHA strategy report, guidance for advocates, food chemical safety and transparency, dietary guidelines, front of package nutrition labeling, farm bill, and the straight shot, federal vaccine updates. CSPI created their Nutrition Action Health Letter in 1974. Sherene and I chat today about how the newsletter influenced both what and how we thought about nutrition and food. Sherene and I chat about what it felt like to get that newsletter on actual physical paper in the actual mail, and how excited we were when it arrived. The newsletter regularly shat on food and restaurants, and Sherene likened the experience to getting a 90s tabloid, like an Inquirer, eagerly opening it up to see who was getting called out that month. I've been wanting to do an episode on CSPI for a while, and then on January 9th of this year, nutrition education influencer Dr. Jessica Nurek posted an ad for CSPI to her 1.6 million followers on social media. It was a video promoting CSPI's own version of the dietary guidelines in response to HHS's.
What's great is that the Center for Science and the Public Interest, a science and health advocacy organization that's been doing this work for over 50 years, created uncompromised dietary guidelines based on the original scientific report that health professionals and people can use to guide their decisions. It's free, and I'll add a link in my bio for you to easily get a copy. So if you want to see what the dietary guideline recommendations would have looked like if they had followed the evidence-based scientific report and not been so incredibly confusing, check out CSPI's uncompromised guidelines.
It was surprising to me to see CSPI wade into influencer culture, having generally stayed under the radar doing behind-the-scenes work. Their current Instagram educator is a thin, white millennial guy who's just pretty average, and with random folks sprinkled in like this person.
If you're following March Madness, you're going to be bombarded with Coke ads like this, Coke contests like this, Coke concerts like this. And you'll see Coke's high sugar sports drink all over the court too. Coke dumps millions into March Madness to capture college kids. Start them young and build that brand loyalty.
Seeing CSPI venture into the world of macro-influencing culture and trying to target the individual to promote their work caught my attention, and I wanted to share a bit about their history today, and Sherene was happy to jump on a call to make that happen. We chatted about the accessibility of CSPI's nutrition information lists from their newsletters. One current list on their website is their food additive safety ratings. They list additives as safe, cut back, certain people shouldn't eat, caution, and avoid. Additives we're supposed to avoid include Splenda, synthetic food dyes, trans fats, sodium nitrate, aloe vera, and ginkgo biloba. We should take caution with additives, carrageenan, and monk fruit extract. And let's get into the rest with Sherene. Sherene, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You were the first person I sent the hashtag ad for CSPI after Jessica Nurick posted, yes, the CSPI dietary guidelines. And I was like, thoughts? I was very surprised. CSPI has really been under the radar for a lot of people. And then popping up in influencer territory was surprising.
I mean, I think because she's such a prominent health professional, I think as health professionals, maybe a lot of us have either heard of or subscribed to in the past. And they were, I think, one of the main authority voices 10, 15 years ago.
Right. And that's the part that is interesting as well. Because how old are you?
I'm going to be 42 this year.
Okay. Maybe that's it. Because I am 44 and folks who are in their mid 30s. More
They probably never heard of it before.
Right. They don't have paper. They didn't have paper. We'll get into that.
Exactly. And I was thinking about that too. I mean, they were the, first influencer fearmongers in paper form.
Yes. The first
before Instagram came out, because I feel like so many of those, articles can be posts that influencers use right now. The language, the imagery.
Yeah. And actually now that you're saying that, it would be more of what the food babe is posting than dietitians. Eat this, don't eat that.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah. I was just thinking about, the language and why it was so popular and why I resonated so much with it before and why I subscribed to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember how you found it 10 plus 15, 20 years ago?
10, 15 years. I definitely feel like it was either through public health professors or through, just public health professors. Or even when I was interning at different places, the Department of Public Health, or even nutrition programs, professors would mention this as a resource back then. And I think just there weren't that many resources available when you're digging into evidence-based nutrition information. I think for the general consumer, before I became a dietitian, I was just really searching for any information that I can trust out there. And that is how they're positioned, still continue to be positioned. And, the information at the time, I think, really spoke to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did the tone speak to you as well?
I mean, I think just relating it to Instagram posts and influencers, I think when you aren't really aware of so much of the sensational language, and when you're still learning or unpacking, what it means to learn about nutrition, you really don't know. And so I was so excited to get my issues every single time. It's like, okay, yes, I can, I'll learn a little bit more this time. I'll learn a little bit more this time.
I was still living-ish at home on and off, which is why I had an address to get them. So that was 20 plus years ago. My cousin-in-law, when I told him that I was thinking about being a dietitian, he was like, oh, I get this newsletter. I think you would love it. And I was like, I love it.
Yeah.
They tell me everything that's wrong. They tell me everything that's right about food and nutrition. And I am just absorbing this information. I don't have to read a textbook. You're just telling me what's bad and what's good.
Yeah. And it's super clear. I mean, there's lists, there's, foods, there's things that I think, because this was, late 2000s, I think, I don't even remember when I started subscribing to it. It was probably right after college. So mid to late 2000s, I think I started subscribing to it as I was unpacking, learning more about, my journey into nutrition and just trying to figure out what to believe, what's right, what's wrong, what's outside of obviously magazine articles, and then outside of reading actual research papers, what's the in-between. And this felt like a really great in-between place to get really great information.
Yeah, really accessible, like you said, totally. The food porn versus like their healthy food. Yeah. So the back cover was two different columns. It would be like food porn versus like the healthier option of whatever it is that you should be eating. And it would be like everything that is wrong with the cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory, we'll say. And I can't believe they had a full like column on. Now that I'm thinking about it, how did they have so much to say? I don't know about what we should and shouldn't be eating.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Most of it was, can you believe how bad and gross something X is? Most of it in so many paragraphs.
Yes. And how gross you'll be if you eat it. Yeah. So CSPI was really my origin story for like food policing other people's choices and also like body policing, like and judging people for eating X, Y, and Z food.
Yeah.
And having no nuance about accessibility. It's just like, it's really the lustig of if you can't eat, healthy food, then you shouldn't be eating at all.
Yeah, really no nuance whatsoever.
No.
And it wasn't until, I started studying nutrition, like in a program or learning about dietetics, dietitians. I was like, okay, and there isn't, there aren't really dietitians associated with this either. Which was very interesting. As an authority voice. So that I felt that was really interesting. But it wasn't until later, years of probably like almost 10 years of subscribing, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I was still getting it when I wasn't reading it. Like I didn't like cancel because back in the day, it was hard to cancel things.
Yeah.
And they just started building up versus me like going to grab it. And I started to think it was like, I'm not sure about this. And then I think it was 2016. But whenever they said salt is going to kill you, their anti-salt campaign was going on. And I was like, this is a little too much for me. And I think it was 2016. That was the nail in the coffin for me when they were like, bacon is a carcinogen. Like, you all are deeply unserious. I don't follow this anymore.
I think when I noticed that there wasn't a dietitian really, and then there was someone always doing the food, the recipes, which is great. Anyone can do recipes, but I think as we are learning, in programs and whatnot, I think just kind of looking out for those voices and then also looking for more diversity in what they're promoting also.
Yes.
And then the lack of nuance. There were, for those people who aren't familiar, most people might not be familiar, like lists of foods that were like yellow light, green light, or good, better, best, based on, whatever criteria they're choosing. And so it was just the lack of nuance and just purely based on the food ingredients and then specific extreme examples restaurants wise. And then I think I was already kind of turned off by all of that. But then what really, really turned me off was when I did cancel, the many letters writing to me, like not just me specifically, but I'm sure these are like templates that they send out, telling me all the things I was missing out on, many of which were, here are all these lists that you're missing out on, where like showing you like how unhealthy like all these cultural foods are.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, this is it. I really can't. Like, to a point where if I had the energy, I would have written letters or tried to, like, share my thoughts with them a little bit more. But it just, yeah.
Yeah. The height of the quinoa and kale, people are being introduced to, quinoa over here and having zero context for, the indigenous and, places that quinoa is grown. Yes. And people can't afford it there because Americans are so into it and paying so much money. Yeah. Yeah. Height of the recipes I completely forgot, probably because I don't cook. Never made any of them as opposed to you. But yeah. Wild. Super wild. Speaking of cultural foods, I'm going to jump really quickly to their CSPI wins that are still available on the internet. Let me find them. Okay. I'm excited. So it wasn't until, I think, 2018 that calories on menus were required. They were in California beforehand. 2018 feels very, very soon.
Late.
Yeah, but they were there beforehand.
Yeah, if you had a chain restaurant of, I think, more than 10 or 20 locations. Yeah.
Yeah. People in 2018 companies were required to put down the calorie amount. Yeah. Folks probably see them now. Right now, their website wins listed in 1993, CSPI launches a series of landmark investigative reports, beginning with Chinese restaurant food, revealing for the first time the nutritional value of restaurants.
So cringe. It's just so cringe. In fact, I just got back, had this great conversation. I was just on the plane coming back from a retreat, and I had this really great conversation with this older white woman, really sweet and kind, really had a great convo. She, has a bunch of like anti-Trump stuff, goes to all the No Kings rallies. It's great. But then, like right as we were landing, then she just had to ruin it by saying something like, she does enjoy cultural foods like Chinese food, but she just doesn't understand why. The problem with it is that it's just so unhealthy. And I just had to, say, the nicest way, just because I did really like her, that, it really depends on where you're going. I, as a Chinese person, didn't grow up eating whatever foods that you're probably eating or thinking is Chinese food. And also, I told her, hey, it really depends on like what audience they're catering to as well. So maybe to your palate, you all are demanding oily food and salty food. So, she said, okay, hadn't thought about that, so that was good that was a little good, I think.
That's so nice of you.
Yeah.
To invest in that and recognize, she might pass that along to.
Yeah, she might pass it along because she's actually very sweet and seemingly very aware of most of the other things that she's talking about with nuance. So unfortunately, I think she's not the only person, not that because she's white, but just everyone can fall into like the diet trap conversation of every extreme that's being marketed to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw on another site that they started with Chinese food because it oftentimes had more calories than people thought it did. And I was like, what? That's why you decided to show.
I wonder, did they find that?
All of your, racist cards out on the table in hidden behind calories is what's happening right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, deeply. If I had known that in 1993, I'm not sure what I would have thought if I learned that then, but wow. They didn't even say fast food, right? That's so easy. Yes. But no, they were like, we're actually racist.
Cringe. I mean, what was the result? What did they get from that investigation?
They went through a bunch of restaurants and were trying to like assess the calorie amounts, but it doesn't say anything. There's no follow-up.
Yeah.
Like at all.
I think that's enough. Like people just thought like that's enough,
Yes.
Which is so disturbing.
Yeah. They positioned that as their origin story for restaurant meal labeling.
Mm-hmm.
Basically because Chinese food had a lot of calories.
Yeah.
What?
Why?
Yeah. And why is that still on the internet? How in 2026 are you not like, maybe we should lie about that one and just take off that detail?
Or just, I don't know, own it, but then say, yeah, that wasn't the best way to go about it.
Yeah. Or we made some mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they did make mistakes. In 1989 was when they started saying that all saturated fat, bad. What you should be using is hydrogenated oils in cooking and frying and all of these things. At the time, CSPI was like, there isn't enough research on trans fat to say that they're unhealthy. So what we want you to do, is get out that country crock margarine or I can't believe it's not butter and be using that instead. And then it wasn't that many years later where they had to come back and say they're wrong and then spend years trying to then ban trans fats.
Yeah.
Ultimately successful, but like...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they were able to also with that say that they made a mistake.
Exactly. They're able to say they're wrong.
Yeah.
If they care about it.
And then I did see this other, as I was just kind of going through and kind of revisiting some of the things in the past, since I just haven't been on this website in ages. Just looking at something they still have on about counting calories in Thai, Chinese, Mexican, Italian, and other cuisines. I don't know if you saw that.
I missed that. What does it say?
It's from 2016, but they still have it up, I guess, because it's relevant. But they went through and looked at different foods. How many calories are in palak paneer? How many calories are in pho? How many calories on average? The researchers measured in those and other common restaurant dishes, cuisine by cuisine. So it doesn't say the specific restaurant, even the ingredients. It literally just lists the dish name and then how many calories, how is that even accurate?
It's not. Wow.
It literally just lists chicken tikka masala with rice and naan bread, 1,430 calories. Like, so if someone has no idea, it could be us like 20 years ago, just digging into it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that, but there's no source, no link, no recipe, no anything, just literally the words that I read, chicken tikka masala with rice and naan bread, 1,430 calories. That's it.
Yeah. On and on.
Like, why is that there?
Because they're racist. Let's just... That's why.
Yes.
But they voted probably for Obama drive Priuses, and also mentioned in some of their stuff that we need to reduce food waste. So if they compost, Sherene, they actually aren't racist. They're just giving us information that we should, think is helpful.
The whole page has common restaurant dishes listed like that.
Indeed. The title is Counting Calories in Thai, Chinese, Mexican, Italian, and Other Cuisines.
Just so cringy.
And I don't know what I was thinking when you told me about it, but like it is the article. It's not just like side topic. Like this, it is
the whole article.
It's
just
yes.
Title of the dish, calories. Title of the dish, calories.
Yes.
What cultural food it's from.
How many calories do you get when you eat out? Research.
Zero evidence of where any of the information is from, but just trust it.
Yes. And this is main dishes at independent and small chain restaurants in Boston.
Okay.
So then, yeah, at whatever.
From 10 years ago. So then you just have to take it like, okay.
Right. And this one restaurant in Boston, like that's your sample size? What?
There it is.
Oh, man.
Those are the most popular dishes in those cultures.
Yes. Under the Chinese, it just says Chinese. It doesn't say Chinese food. It has Peking duck for 1,750 calories, which is definitely how much I would be eating if I had that food.
Just don't understand it whatsoever. Because also, like, being Chinese, I just don't order any of those dishes. But, you know, that's also, I'm also, you know, veg. So, like, most of those are meat dishes. But even then, like, those aren't the most common dishes. FYI to anybody listening.
Just letting folks know.
Just letting folks know. I mean, just look at the Italian one.
Well, and you just said you're veg, so just so folks know that there is not a meat eater's bias here. You're vegan. We don't dislike CSPI because they tend towards.
It's that there's, I mean.
And that's Mexican. Again, not Mexican food. There are 5 wheat tortillas, guac, sour cream, rice, beans, and then fajita, like skillet. That's what we got.
It's a compilation, random compilation put together.
Right. And the assumption that you finish it all.
Yeah. And also, I mean, like, there's no way to really interpret these calories either. I mean, if you're like a athlete and you are like constantly exercising and burning a bunch of calories, like maybe you really do, you know, you should be eating the chicken fajita dish.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So it's like, there's literally no information about just like dish name, calories. That's it.
Yeah. And the quote, and that's with no drink, appetizer, or dessert.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's just that doesn't even hold up to their own rigor, evidence wise.
Like portion size.
Yeah.
Yes. And recipes. Types of food. So a consistent through line for CSPI is that calories are what counts. Everything else doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
How still. It's not weird. It's just like, how does that happen? Like, I feel like no other, like, people who yell at us are just like so focused still on calories. I don't know.
And I think their readers probably are more inclined to learn about nutrition. I mean, I would assume that, like, that's, you know, and so are those people already calorie or, you know, whatever conscious already? It's like that. What's the benefit, I guess?
Yeah.
To just protein calories specifically, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
In one of their examples for like why we need to have calories listed on the menu was the type of salad dressings at some restaurant, I don't even know. But the balsamic vinaigrette was 190 calories, which is so much different than the low-fat balsamic vinaigrette, which was 50. And I was like, so should we talk about like healthy fats that are in the like regular balsamic vinaigrette? Or do you want us to talk about the low fat, which is going to have a bunch of other stuff, which, I mean, I don't have inherently a problem with, but why don't you care? Like, what? Yeah. What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. It's just, there's so many different ways to frame it. Anyways.
It's so many ways to not have to do this.
Like, so many ways not to do it either. I mean, that's the other thing.
Yes. And the, like, how many calories does somebody need? Their position always is like the least amount possible. That's their goal.
Yeah. Exactly.
The quote healthiest and the least amount of calories possible is the correct calorie amount.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No biological differences, nothing. Yeah, it's all the same. We all need to be doing the least.
Also, just another potential hating on white rice. Japanese, none of the dishes list white rice, but they needed to throw a photo of it in there to make it look terrible in their eyes.
Mm-hmm. All the, gosh, it's just the vegetable tempura. And there's a picture of the tempura and a bowl of rice. Because if you eat those two things together, Sherene, it's going to be really unhealthy.
Uh-oh.
Doing it wrong once again. Ew.
It's so horrible.
It is. And I'm glad that we talked about how this was totally an entry point into how we were viewing things.
Yeah.
And how long it took for that nuance. And I mean, some people don't have it. Some people are yelling at me in my comments about how there is no nuance when it comes to nutrition and food. And I'm just like,
really, that there is no nuance?
No, it's black and white. Why, Jessica, are you saying that some ultra processed foods are, have different nutrient profiles than others?
What?
Yes.
Wow.
You must be sponsored by Big Food if you're saying, yeah. But yeah, it's fully, absolutely calories first. And I didn't see them ever talking about food access also. Mm-hmm. So as much as I'm like, Maha Moms, where are you? I'm like, CSPI, like the primary nutrition lobbying group. Why? Yeah. Where are you? Where?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like the nuance and the, inclusion of everyone else, I guess. I feel like that could be the next evolution.
Well, really, because they're speaking to people who are in their newsletter, right? And that's people who are paying for.
Exactly.
It's not. So it's so predictable, but also, how are they the only like nutrition watchdog?
Yeah,
that's what they call themselves. Like group. I don't know. And why don't more people know that they're not great? So. They also will talk about ultra processed foods, specifically when they list ultra processed foods. It's the processed meats, sugary foods, chips, candy, soda stuff. And as you know, and you and I have discussed, they're very much a vegan leaning organization, a very plant-based leaning organization. And there is never a mention of vegan ultra processed, if we even know what that means, foods in their list of things that we should stay away from, which is always wild to me.
Yeah.
They even have a chart that is 20, 30, 40 items long of meat replacements. The ones that they, recommend, the one that get an honorable mention, or the ones that aren't that great because they have a food dye in them. And I'm like, So what you're saying is, if it's the right kind of processing, that's okay.
Yeah.
If it's the wrong kind, it's bad.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And that brings up...
And also incredibly confusing.
Exactly.
But I don't know if the readers care.
Right. That's... Yeah. Plant-based has definitely been like a class marker for sure. So yeah, just speaking to their audience.
Yeah.
Which
is very interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, plant-based, again, the bacon is a carcinogen. It was bacon and processed meats are going to give you cancer. And that was the blanket statement. They, again, no nuance there.
Yeah. Nuance.
None. Like basically everything has nitrates and nitrites in it, and that's how you're going to get cancer. But like that was not that was not the headline. That was the subtext. And every processed meat has those things. So if you're eating bacon, you're giving yourself cancer.
Yeah, I think the lack of nuance, fear mongering, and then providing no context whatsoever for major blanket statements.
Mm-hmm.
And then people take them as is.
Yeah.
Is really just very scary. But we know that works because that's what influencers are doing.
That's a really, great point. I'm really glad that you brought that one back. They have a list of additives that I can go through that have the red, yellow, green in just a sec. But in an undated website, it's on salt and why sodium reduction matters is the title. The first sentence, salt, sodium chloride, is one of the deadliest ingredients in the U.S. food supply. What?
I know, but it's like
they did at one time have a salt campaign, but this is undated. Like when this is just like their statement on salt. That's it.
I know. It's just so extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And just with every food item that they want to demonize, or category of foods.
Right.
I just wonder if it still works today. Do you know what I mean? Because people have access to so much more information. Like they can access like these types of lists or these types of messages in a much faster form that what do they need to still see it in a newsletter form like this?
Sure.
Yeah,
totally.
Just trying to process through that and is it necessary for them to still do that, Because I could almost predict what they're writing. Like types of language that they're using. Yeah.
And who needs that now? I mean, in their current issue is a giant burger with like a bun, lettuce, drippy cheese, like extra charred, etc. And the title is a big fat mess. It's just like, is this for my mom? Is this for Gen X?
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't need this. Whatever you're going to say is not
like it doesn't help. Like what is it addressing?
Right. If you say
your readers,
policy organization, what are you doing? But their only funding is through this nutrition newsletter. That's it. So, right? So they need subscribers, and here you are exactly with the what's on Instagram and what sells. It's like wild statements like those.
Yeah.
The original nutrition influencers. Oh, so true. So true.
Because I was influenced. I feel like I even taught classes that were kind of framed like that because
absolutely.
I was like, wow, these are powerful statements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So apologies I'm sorry to everybody that I had to get scared based on any of the lectures that I did in the past.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say that there are things that CSPI is famous for, but definitely infamous for. The trans fats was one of them.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the whole like popcorn calorie hysteria. Did you catch that one?
No, I didn't.
Those 90s. Yes. Where they started counting the calories in movie theater popcorn and saying things like the amount in a serving or in a bag of popcorn is the same as 6 Big Macs. And, the quotes are like, you'll blow your entire diet if you go to the movies like one day. They were concerned because apparently popcorn at this time was supposed to be a superfood. I don't know. And was cooked in coconut oil at many movie theaters. So, and apparently this ended up in a congressional hearing.
Wow.
What? I don't understand.
In my head, I'm just thinking like back in the day when people cared about stuff like that. Because, look at what's happening now anyways. I feel like each of the things that are happening on a daily basis is a headline and I don't know. And the other thought is, oh, that popcorn sounds really good.
And I mean, if we're going to test this theory about, popcorn having so many calories, and of course their language of, making everyone fat, actually, they probably used obese. During COVID, when movie theaters shut down and people were not eating popcorn anymore, then in theory, everybody should have lost like so much weight if this popcorn hysteria was enough to go to Congress to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
What? I don't know. Bananas to me. So that's something else that they're, known for.
Very interesting. Yeah, because now movie theaters aren't even making any money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, just like the red dye, the dye being removed.
Good call.
It's like, okay, well, at least that was, not at least, but that's in more products than, like, that's something maybe everyone would have encountered versus, like, not everyone goes to the movies and eats popcorn.
No.
So it's just interesting that it was able to get so much attention.
Yeah. Because people were afraid, right? Of this popcorn that they sometimes were maybe, I don't know, how often were people going to the movies in the 90s?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, is going there every day and eating popcorn every day?
Cannot tell you.
Yeah.
So that was one more thing they were infamous for.
But they have a lot of, well-known researchers that back the editorial team, right?
Yes.
I just remember, back in the day when I did receive it, always being like looking them up and being really impressed. Like, wow, these are really well-known researchers, that, and I feel like that gave it a lot of validity as somebody who's just learning about nutrition.
Yeah, that's a good point. They were part of the push to get nutrition labeling on food.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the allergens there. And I will say, I'm very pro people knowing, yay,
exactly.
And knowing.
Of course. Like, I feel like it's just the type of information, like having transparency is really important, but I think taking it to the next level of telling people, okay, well, now you're basically going to knock over dead. Like, the second you eat this is like different type of messaging.
Right. Like, why did you want those nutrition labels on there? So people could eat less. That's what you wanted. Like, if you had made the case for other reasons, because there are so many that, it could have been about that.
Because really, it is obviously really helpful. It's helpful for so many. Information is always helpful, but I think sensational information is just not helpful.
Yeah.
And that's sensational racist information. How many layers do I add here?
Truly, that is one of the findings that I've got out here. But also, you and I in our field, again, not surprised, all the nutrition education we got, like, don't have 2 carbs at a meal. If you eat beans, you don't eat rice. If you, don't eat white rice or noodles. So it's like, this newsletter really contributed to, and not necessarily birthed the field, but influenced it so much. Like, it's just another, piece of how we got to where we are, where we still can't talk about white rice being fine.
And like unlearning so much, or just even in the public conversation, general consumers, patients, general community, language around cultural foods too.
Depending on how much time I have in my intakes, I am oftentimes not able to unpack. Like, I grew up eating a lot of really unhealthy foods because my family's Mexican. Right?
It's just so sad to even feel that way. Yeah.
The easiest way for me to, get to that is what foods were they eating, rather than let me tell you about decades of nutrition history and why I am so sorry that we have totally fucked up this relationship with food for you.
Exactly.
But, not great. I'm not sure if I told this story on the pod, but in my time working in college health, I had a student come to my office because she wasn't eating. Her doctor was concerned that she had an eating disorder. And in like a short conversation, we were able to figure out that she only knew how to cook Persian rice. And coming to Davis, the very hippie origin school, you're not supposed to eat white rice. And she didn't know how to cook anything else. So she just didn't eat.
That's so sad.
Like, so yeah, instead of me saying, here are a bunch of other things to cook, I mean, which I probably did, but so much of that work was like, yay, eat Persian rice. You were also sad because you're not eating it.
Yeah.
That was the work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, not great.
That's so sad.
It's really sad. So I was looking at where their money comes from, where it goes. I was only able to find on Open Secrets that, for lobbying in 2024, they spent $106,000 in 2023. They spent $371,000 with zero outside spending. As far as their political donations come, it says the org does not donate itself, but from individuals within the organization. Folks donated to Clarence Lamb, which is a representative from Maryland. Okay. Yeah. He got $6,600. Second one down from that was Kamala Harris, and she got $3,270. And then the Democratic Party of Wisconsin was under that. And it was like, Also, Angela Brooks got $450.
So not fair worth.
I don't know. But now in 2026, this page, has, as of, 2024, zero outside spending, is their money paid to folks like Jessica Nurek going to be there? Is it going to be considered lobbying? I don't know.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And it, of course, makes me wonder who else, like CSPI and other government lobbying organizations, are paying to do their nutrition work.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because in today's land of influencing, it's so easy to assume that people are their individual selves and they're not influenced by any, quote, outside money. And I think Jessica Nurek had appeared on her Instagram at some point with Elizabeth Warren. And at that point, I was like, so there definitely is money here. It's very interesting to me to see the fields and conversations going in directions now that influencers are taking up a lot of the airtime.
But it's like also, I feel like who's able to reach whatever audience,
Tell us more, Sherene.
Well, I mean, it's like people aren't really watching TV, right? So you're focused on YouTube, or you're focused on whatever other platform where you're following someone speaking on a topic and who you feel like you can trust.
Yes, who you feel like you can trust.
Feel like you can trust.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is, outside of broadcast news or things that, watching TV like the old school way, we didn't have a choice or algorithm that's playing into our own feelings of who we feel like we can trust. And so I feel like it's working against ourselves in a way.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what's available also.
Totally. I finally had a patient talk to me about influencers I had not heard of before that she had found on YouTube, and the conspiracy theories that she was hearing in there, specifically about chia seeds. And I just had to, I know. And she talked about how she had gotten to where she is, and it was like initially with government distrust. Good. As a trans woman, I'm glad you do not trust the government. And then she went into like, oh, maybe I don't trust corporations, food corporations. And I was like, oh God, what? Yeah. You trusted food corporations? And then she was down to eating eggs, hamburger meat, and cheese. That was her diet coming in.
But that's so Yeah.
You're right. The algorithm, it pushes us to people we think we can trust 100%.
So then how do we shift the conversation to people who are doing the right thing or hoping to? I mean, I feel like everyone, I think, thinks they're doing the right thing. So, yeah, it's challenging. Like, who do you feel like you can trust? And then so it's just a lot more subjective in terms of information seeking versus before it was, you're getting funneled information. So it's just kind of a one way and then you're kind of receiving. But now it's, you can go out and seek whoever you feel like you want to listen to and trust.
Yeah.
And then get brainwashed that way.
Well, right. Bonnie has 1 million plus followers.
Yeah.
Right? And she's talking about nutrition. And then other people, nutrition people also have 1 million followers.
Yeah.
And you would look, or someone would look to those numbers and say, this person is telling the truth if they have that many followers, for sure.
Yeah. Or they're doing something right.
Yes.
Or I'm missing something, so I need to hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good call. Oh, man.
So how do we undo that all? I don't know.
Yeah, something else I sent you in prep for this and in the conversation about like food porn language and the right stuff. They have the Extreme Eating Awards and spelled Extreme, Xtreme. It's
like X Games, but
exactly. And can you describe the picture for us?
Picture is a bunch of dishes, all horribly photoshopped together. And they're not even photoshopped together; they're just literally cut and pasted on top of each other.
A Cold Stone, probably milkshake.
Oh yeah, Cold Stone shake, some other blue drink,
like blue.
Fajitas again. Hate fajitas here, but some sandwich with fries, some pasta. Yeah.
First sentence, a typical restaurant meal with no appetizer, drink, or dessert can easily hit 1,000 calories. Just what we need! Exclamation point.
Read the second sentence.
You have children. You should read the second sentence.
But that's child play compared to our quote-unquote winners. Most pack 2,000 plus calories, more than a day's saturated fat and sodium. Some also deliver a wallop of added sugar. The feds still don't require restaurants to disclose added sugar, so our numbers are estimates. Hello, FDA.
And then are these 8 items the worst in America? Heck no. Are they extreme worthy? You bet. And then if you're looking for lighter options, they have.
Now I'm curious about what their lighter options are.
Can you do it?
Okay, it's basically like the blandest food possible. But
in this, okay, they do say how many calories we should be eating a day. 2,000.
Yeah,
right.
For who?
For whom? What are you doing? Yes.
Yeah.
Why does this exist? The Extreme Eating Awards, the Chili's Big Bacon Barbecue Burger, the Applebee's Shark Bowl Cocktail, the Cheesecake Factory's Classic Italian Trio. They also have titles. I got to the
that are so horrible.
The fourth title of the dish, like their own title of the dish.
They're really great at They're great at marketing. I mean, this is like the original, influencer language here.
Yeah, this is giving Food Babe and like Maha their own title for this dish is the Dippity Don't, the Cheesecake Factory's French dip cheeseburger. The next one, Hog Wild, Bob Evans, the whole hog. Ew, Slaughterhouse Fajitas is their title for On the Border Smokehouse fajitas. Oh, this is just bad.
So bad. I mean, I don't understand some of the other titles, but then some are just, of course, racist, like Too Mucho. Oh my God.
for that Applebee's Shark Bowl cocktail. I missed that. So,
why?
Mhm.
I mean, why are you using that language?
Mhm.
Even bigger mouth. What does that mean? I mean,
where does that say even bigger mouth?
right above two mucho.
Even bigger mouth is the title for the Chili's bacon barbecue burger. Too mucho is that cocktail.
I'm so sorry. Oh God.
The more I'm doing this and the more research I've done, like I didn't realize how racist CSPI was.
So racist.
Yeah. When I started out doing this research, I was like, it's complicated. That was my like net perhaps neutral, like yay food labels so that people with allergies.
Yeah.
Yes.
All for food labels.
Food safety. They will sometimes weigh in on food safety.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe food sustainability. Yeah. But the more I have researched for this podcast, I am definitely a net negative on CSPI.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fajitas are never skimpy. What? That doesn't even make sense. You make your own size.
I know, right? Isn't that the like great part?
Yeah. Doesn't even make sense.
Mm-mm.
To be, I guess, fair, this was from 2022. So I don't know if they've had recent extreme eating awards, but for them to still have this on their website is really horrible.
Yeah, because they still list the 1993 investigative report beginning with Chinese restaurant food. Right. So they're still owning.
They're still owning it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing that?
Because they think it's going to help us. And then also, yes, another reason that I'm net negative is because there's no mention of food access. There's no mention of nutrient density and all of these things. 2,000 calories of what? Like 2,100 calories of a Cobb salad with vinaigrette, avocado, egg, blue cheese bake. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Yeah. I want people to have calories, but when I talk to people, calories are not, I don't actually talk to people about calories. Sometimes people ask me how much they should be eating, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't look inside you and get your metabolic rate and exactly what you're, using during physical activity. But I'll talk about all these other things that are way more important, and then your body will do what it's going to do. So again,
I'm looking at their better bets. So if you go from the extreme
eating
awards to the other examples of what you can eat at restaurants, one of them is flour-free fajitas.
So just like without
a salad with chicken is the suggestion. So then why call it fajitas?
You're saying that's the title, and then the food is just
sorry, I'm obviously looking at a website no one else can see, but that's the title, flour-free fajitas.
I wish I didn't come out as net negative.
Yeah. I know. Too bad. Too bad, because I did give them so much of my money back in the day.
I mean, inflation-wise, now it probably wasn't that much money. I'll have to look up.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, as a late teen, early 20s, like money was very, in short supply, at least for being, paying for that. Yeah.
It's just 100% about optimizing every bite and calorie. Period. Zero nuance.
Yeah.
So who does that help? I don't know. Yeah.
I'm glad you're a dietitian.
I'm glad you're a dietitian.
No, I'm glad I have you. For sure.
I have you.
Sometimes I don't know what I would do without folks, for sure, like you. So I'm glad you exist. I'm glad that I got to connect with you.
Same here.
I look forward to having you back to discuss something fun next time.
Okay. Same.
Okay. Sherene, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much to Sherene for coming back on the show. It was a wild ride, and I'm so glad she was there with me. On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, CSPI posted that they reaffirm their organizational commitment to being inclusive, open, kind, collaborative, and accountable. And if accountability is what they're aiming for, I would love for them to start with themselves and to speak to the concerns raised here. They can reach out to the pod at makingitawkwardpod@gmail.com. They can send me a DM if that's how they want to communicate. Over on the Patreon, I share my bonus conversation with Sherene about a friend of mine who worked at CSPI and how she knew from her first day on the job it wasn't going to be a long-term relationship. Okay, friends, I'll be back next week with farmer Trampus Harmon to talk about glyphosate and the upcoming People versus Poison rally in DC. Trampus and I speak directly to an episode from Maha mom-to-be Courtney Swan on her Real Foodology podcast. Trampus found it painful to listen to. Until next time, friends, be sure to check in on the history of an organization. Oh, and don't be racist. Continue making it awkward. This has been Making It Awkward. I'm Jessica Wilson. You can find me on Instagram at jessicawilson.msrd. You can buy my book, It's Always Been Ours, wherever books are sold. You can message the pod at makingitawkwardpod@gmail.com. You can rate, support, review the show. You can join the Patreon. This episode is edited by Jen Jacobs, who is also vegan and enjoys a fake meat alternative. It's sponsored by the Legacy of Sacramento Outboard Services.